And he still had the audacity to run second. Loves the cut in the track. He gets that here. He's the genuine 2,000-metre horse in the race. He's the one to beat.
In classic uniform's got a knockout chance, Pete. He really came of age in the spring. He likes them sting out of the ground as well.
Yeah, and the form line, third behind Wink, 7.5 is probably not bad form in any race. So on the up, third run in, out to a more suitable trip, would expect him to be in the mix.
Well, Emily, you know a lot about the jockey. Michael Walker was the next with Harlem. He caused a massive shock, didn't he, in the Australian Cup?
He sure did, but David Hayes was actually not as surprised as everyone else. I think he's certainly taken no disadvantage from that last run. He looks really well parading in front of me. His sire, Champs-Élysées, is actually making quite a stir on the jump scene in England, but don't be put off, as we've seen many years before. A really good quality stay. A trip to Paris, of course, second in a Caulfield Cup by the same sire.
Now, good point. Prized Icon, he's had 11 starts since he's won the Victoria Derby. No wins, 5 places. There have been some excuses.
Long time between drinks for him. He does present very well here today and at a more suitable trip for the first time in this campaign with Chris Lees, which is his first, but want to see him do it before I put my neck on the line for him.
Jason, in isolation, if you take the Turnbull in the Australian Cup at 2,000 metres weight for age, this bloke's got a massive chance.
Have you been stealing my notes, Bruce? Because that's the one thing that I know. On form, you say, of course, yes. The one question I have, can you trust him now? Well, Damien Oller on board is the right man to coax the absolute best out of Ventura Storm. He was superb in the Australian Cup.
Both he and Harlem gilded, of course, and they've come back very strongly. Now, Richard Freedman, of course, with Saracen here. Chris Waller formerly, and the Freedmans before that, Richo.
Well, what a training performance this would be. Now, Zach Purton comes over from Hong Kong, so you lose nothing there. One of the world's best jockeys. First up from a spell, he looks a treat. I'll have a chat to Richard to get the latest insight on this talented horse.
So there's Saracen. Single gaze. She has, I think, 9 Group 1s she's been in this season, Richo.
9 Group 1s this season. It's Kathy O'Hara's put a big smile on her face, and why wouldn't she? This is a horse that was good enough to run in a Golden Slipper and a Melbourne Cup. What a beauty she is. Everyone will cheer so loud. 2,000 metres. She was superb in the Australian Cup. She's going to take a power beating.
And Emily, tell us about Consensus. Is she in foal or isn't she in foal right now?
Well, I had a little chat to Stephen McKee, and she isn't in foal. She was actually covered twice and missed, hence the fact that she's still racing. Keeping it a family affair as well in New Zealand. Her regular rider is Alicia Collett. That is the sister, of course, of Jason Collett. I think this is probably going to be a little bit tough for her, but she's honest. She'll go on the track, and she very rarely runs a bad race.
Who's the pick of the yard, guys?
That's a tough question, isn't it? It's hard to go past Galo's shop. He looks superb.
It's actually my first time to see him in the flesh, and I can't believe what a big, strong horse he is. So, yeah, he goes in the mix, and I'm sticking at the top of that field. I'm going with the 2 as well. I thought that paraded really beautifully, and going to ensure that Galio Chop doesn't get it too easy in front.
That's right. Really keen to see Saracen. We'll have a chat to Richard Freedman about Saracen. Keep in mind with Prized Icon, who I thought looked really good. That 7-day backup, he's only done it twice in his career. He was poor in the Vase and then won a Derby. He was poor in a Rosehill Guineas and then ran second in his next start in the Tulloch. So the 7-day backup's the key.
Well, let's find out from Jared if there's any confidence around Prized Icon as we go to the tab.
Yeah, Bruce, it was $8.50 to $11, and they've just chipped away at Prized Icon, back into $10, the 4th best back runner in the race with tab customers. Best backed easily is our favourite. Galo's Shop was $1.85 this morning, just back to even money now. Single gaze was $5.50 to $4.80, back to $5. There certainly has been some interest in Ventura Storm, $11 to $8.50, and no money at all for Harlem then.
After this.
When the music starts to fade, come back to it all over again. You're looking at me, we're looking to run. Something away, I just...
Sure, who's the hot horse, Jared?
Single gaze. Galo Shop's just gone to $2.05. Single gaze did touch $4.80, now $5, but it'll be the hot horse for Nick Olive.
And didn't Richo make a great point? Golden Slipper Melbourne Cup. And there was an Oaks in between, wasn't there?
With an unfortunate fall for her and Kathy, but bonny mare. They'll lift the grandstand if she hits the front 50 out.
Here's Darren Flindell for his call of the Ranvet.
Hello, Shop. Bold front-running type. On Pace Runner is the favourite, and the light's on now. We've got a big 3 hours of racing with the Group 1s in the rough, and the first of them, the Ranvet, and Galo Shop in classic uniform, the first two into stride. Prized Icon handy, Single Gaze, O'Hara giving it a rev up towards the inside. Single Gaze wants a very forward position, followed by Harlem Consensus taken hold of. Then came Saracen, and Oliver goes down to the fence on Ventura Storm. So it's classic uniform and Galo Shop cutting out the lead at the mile mark. Single Gaze has got leaders back third on the inside of Prized Icon. Then came Harlem, half the outside of Consensus. Ventura Storm and Saracen are the last pair. So it's classic uniform holding out the favourite Galo Shop for the front. And Clark has a good grip here on classic uniform, working down the back, a length clear from Galo Shop. Two after Single Gaze third, half the outside, then to Prized Icon. They're followed after 2 lengths to Harlem, then Consensus from Saracen, and Ventura Storm sees them all. They've got 1,100 metres to run, and classic uniform on top by 3/4 to Galo Shop with these big strides in second position at the 1,000. Single Gaze in a stalking position third. Harlem improving, just shading Prized Icon at this point. Then Ventura Storm and Saracen's back with it. Down the side section of the course now, 800 metres to run. Classic uniform still under a good hold. Leads out from Galo Shop. O'Hara pulls out on Single Gaze, just inching closer now in a 3-wide position. This allows Harlem to go up the fence, improving on the inside of Prized Icon. Further back to Ventura Storm, Saracen, and Consensus is giving a bit of ground. The field bunches coming to the turn, and Galo Shop moves up on the outside now to rest the lead. Single Gaze the outside giving chase. Galo Shop a half in front to Single Gaze. Clear from Prized Icon running on. Galo Shop at the 250. A length clear from Single Gaze. Then Prized Icon, Consensus making minor headway. The big Galo Shop in charge with 100 metres to run. Prized Icon, Single Gaze fight out the second end of the prize, but Galo Shop takes out the Ranvet. Single Gaze fought on for second in front of Prized Icon. Photo for fourth, Consensus and Saracen. Then came Harlem from Ventura Storm, and Classic Uniform was the last to finish.
He's a top-class horse, Peter. He's beaten a good field, and he's beaten them easily. He's a really top-class weight-for-age middle-distance galloper, isn't he?
He's in a great vein of form, this horse, and even in the run, he just found he was so relaxed and just travelled so sweetly. He got taken on in front, had to fire up in the Australia Cup today. He was just in that nice rhythm. And 7 of his 13 wins now on soft ground, so he's a very accomplished galloper, but any given the ground, a massive advantage as well, and it's going to be hard to see any of those turning the tables here in the Tancred, in the BMW in a couple of weeks' time.
Absolutely. You brought a horse here with the same colours. It was in a rich vein of form, in a similar vein of form in Managar for OTI, didn't you, and won this race?
Nearly an identical preparation through the Carline Cup, the Peter Young Australia Cup and so on. So this bloke very similar, and he's seems to have these sort of races at his mercy until the great one arrives.
Exactly. So he was so strong. Again, Single Gaze has run terrifically well. She's probably held off Prized Icon for second. She has. I thought Saracen ran well for Richard Freeman, actually.
Yeah, no, he got up. He might have just run fourth on the line, so he stuck it out. So he'll look forward to the mile and a half. Like Richard said, first run beyond a mile in a few years.
Well, Jared McLean with you again, Richo, and boy, I reckon that's nearly his most impressive win.
I think it is his most impressive win.
Doing 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 12 and a half. Like obviously, Kathy done the right thing on Single Gaze, came off his back to give her horse every chance, but then he runs home in about 34 and a half, 34. He's just hard to beat over the 2,000 metres.
Does he stretch his brilliance to 2,400 and attack a Tancred?
I think we've got to have a crack. Obviously, we're up here now, and there's no Jamaica about this year anyway. So happy to push that way with him and see how far he gets. But again, big thrill here today to win another Group 1 race on the back of Hellbent's Group 1 win last night.
So 7 for the season for Weary. He just keeps breaking the records, doesn't he?
Yeah, never say it's getting easier, but it's been a great season again. Warrnambool's been good, but it's been hard down there with the beaches, and looking forward to a little bit of certainty in the next few months with our beaches, and push ahead into the new season.
Well done, buddy.
Thanks very much.
He does a mighty job. You talk to Darren Weir, and Jared's the first bloke he always mentions, doesn't he?
He does. The team down there at Warrnambool, they've had tremendous success. Melbourne Cups and the like, Prince of Penzance, most of Darren's older weight for age horses. It gives them a relief, heavy sand and straight into the cool water.
Well, he's a mighty horse at 2,000 metres. We know who the best horse in Australia and the world we think at 2,000 metres is. Well, she doesn't have to go that far today. She's in the George Ryder. That's who we're talking about. It's her time next. It's Winks time. Go the early crow with this one. He had the race under control. Single Gaze and Prized Icon were chasing hard, but he was so powerful in the last 200 metres, wasn't he, Galo Shop?
Pulled away in the last 100 metres and made it a dominant win. Like Jared said there earlier, Kathy O'Hara had to come out and make a race of it at Single Gaze. The sectional suited the on-pace horses. They had to get going, Single Gaze and Prized Icon, but he was dominant on the line.
And the news we're getting, Pete, he's not going to run in the Tancred next Saturday. He's going to run in the Queen Elizabeth and take Winks on at 2,000 metres for the 4 million.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's expecting Winks does go there post today. Obviously, with Ascot still in the mix, I suppose we're yet to learn about that. But a bit of a surprise there, but maybe the team have got something else in line for the BMW next week. OTI have had a breakout season. They've had a tremendous year.
Absolutely. So he was well backed. He was shorter than that during the week. Single Gaze, well, she adds to her CV. She's a beauty. Prized Icon, good run, no doubt about that. And fourth placing went to number 9, Consensus. She did her job, in Saracen in fifth. Here's Mark Zara having a mighty season with Richo.
Good on you, Mark, mate. I'm so excited for you. What a beauty he is over 2,000 metres with a bit of cut in the ground.
Yeah, I just said to Terry, I said, well, you've been crowing about how good he is on the wet, and we can believe you now because he was spot on.
He was going to win miles out.
I said to the boys before, I said I just would like a bunny this way first time, and I was sort of wanted to come away from the fence a little bit, and so the speed was perfect. I travelled well, and when Single Gaze got to me, I just towed me up, and then sometimes he can be a bit dour, but Darren and the team had him spot on because when I went for him, he showed a good turn of foot too.
Okay, 3 weeks. Go towards, say, a Queen Elizabeth and eyeball Winks.
Well, they still play good for second in that race, but you never know. At least he's in front out of luck. Makes his own luck. So there you go.
10th career Group 1, 4 of them this season. You've worked so hard and you're getting the rewards now.
Yeah, that's right. Racing's all about hard work and opportunity. Got a good manager in Reece Murphy. Actually, I'll give him a shout out. It was his 40th birthday yesterday, so good on him. And good team around me, and things are going well.
Your fiancée reckons it's all about her, Elise.
Yeah, and Elise, she does a great job too. Can't forget her.
Good on you, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you.